Okay, so before we get started, if my voice goes in and out, I was yelling at my kids last week and yeah, I lost my voice. So if I sound like a sick cat or something, you could thank 3 kids under 4 for that. But anyway, for this video reflection, we are asked, how does teaching and learning relate to our current or future role in higher education? In the text, Newman and Campbell explain from an academic perspective of how teaching and learning can be evaluated in the classroom for both the instructor and the students. They also pointed out the necessary factors in order for learning and teaching to take place, and those include the learner, the instructor, the content, and the context. Going further into the text, we also learn about the influence that each component can have on one another. I also like the quote that says, learning implies learning something, and that something is content. Although I'm not a faculty member in higher education, I will say that as an admissions processor, I still find ways to benefit from the teacher and learning concept as well. In my position, I process applications and documents, communicate with applicants, and several directors and deans from each graduate department. My world of teaching and learning involves having to have at least the basic knowledge of the academic programs on campus for both undergraduate and graduate programs. It is essential for those within my department to know the basic information and expectations about a program, in addition to the admissions process itself, because we are the first voices that people hear when they interact with the campus, and we want to make a good impression. If we have assisted students to the best of our abilities and they still have questions, that is when we send them to a different department. But I will say that we do try to give as much information that we can. A lot of the information that I have learned about the university occurred during my undergraduate years through leadership classes and being active in organizations such as the orientation team. Knowing your campus was a secure way to break the ice when meeting with new students and families. So, what I learned in that sense does fit the need for those traditional components that Newman and Campbell mentioned. The same could be said for the duties that I learned for this position when I first began. I am at the point now in my experience where I've gotten to know my graduate applicants on a personal level, as they express both excitement and concerns about starting graduate school. I do not always have the right answers, but I do know that sometimes applicants need those words of encouragement to push themselves because otherwise they would just keep procrastinating on getting a degree. And for those who come to the final realization that they are still not ready yet, then there's fulfillment in that too, because that keeps people from applying and exhausting themselves to meet the admissions requirements when they're not physically or mentally ready to start their degree. These kinds of skills are not something that can be taught out of a manual or a book. They can only be learned through experience. So that is why I say teaching and learning can look a little different for me, and yet it is still the same in the nature. Moving on to how technology can relate to my position, you'll be surprised at how much technology is used to keep our Office of Admissions running smoothly. I like how Perner and Ruiz explained the relationship between technology and higher education in the sense that the relationship is rather complex. The spirit of higher education itself opens doors for the development of new technology, but on the other side of that coin, we have to evaluate the demand and the need for immediate gratification that can occur as a result of having access to that technology. I enjoyed reading the section about the role of technology in enrolling and supporting students because it related more closely to my office. This can also tie in with the third question about how we can develop professionally in teaching, learning, or technology. Every year, our admissions department come together and collaborate on how we can make a better experience for our incoming students and how we can alleviate or remove any barriers with our admissions process. And of course, this is as much as the governing boards and the university system of Georgia will allow. Over time, we have observed that today's applicants are less patient and want information about their application status and admissions decision immediately. And we have been testing out new programs that will allow us to keep applicants updated about their status and decisions in a timely manner, whether it be email or text notification within 24 hours after putting their decision in through the system. Another example of technology that my office uses in the early stages of the application process is a program called Capture You. This software is designed to get a tag on applicants as they explore our website, and this data allows us to see what they're interested in and what pages they click on the most. In return, this helps us assess if a certain resource is needed on the front page of our website so that applicants can find them easier and quicker. Our marketing and university relations department is also working on a new platform that will allow students to see everything that they need to do or have already completed in one central location. The goal is to keep everything organized in one place so that applicants are not having to hunt down forms and documents that they need. It will already be in their dashboard because we have already assessed the kinds of resources that the student will need based on their application information. It is still in development, but I think that it is a cool resource to have because as a former student, I would rather just research the whole website before I pick up the phone and call somebody because I don't want to waste anybody's time. So I hope that this platform will save our future students some time and give them a better experience. Overall, I think that being open minded to learning new things, being willing to teach those who do not know, and being adaptable with using the technology and platforms in development can make any department run like a well oiled machine. So, in today's higher education, I think that all of these components are necessary for any institution to thrive. Thank you for watching my video.